Okay, so on this episode of Mama Confessions, I'm talking about a decision I made at the end of 2024 to commit to basically a no buy year. And obviously, it's not something that I can completely commit to. I can't buy nothing for the entire year, but I am committing to buying less and only buying essentials and exploring my relationship to shopping and to consumerism and capitalism in general. And on this episode, I invited my friend Danielle Walsmith to come and chat with me about my shopping ban and why I did it and what the rules are about it. And then Danielle really challenged me on a few things to make sure that the reasons that I'm doing the shopping ban and this no buy year are aligned with my values and really are going to, help me get where I want to go in life. So I think you're going to love this conversation between us. And if you have any questions about my shopping ban, obviously reach out and I'd be happy to give you all the details. Enjoy this episode on shopping ban. Okay. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Dar. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're doing this with me because I have all these things that I want to talk about in the world. And you and I have these amazing conversations and we always think deeply about things. We always make jokes. And I was like, oh, this will be fun to talk to you and share our dynamic with others and then also talk about this topic. So
super fun.
Yeah.
Well, this topic is interesting to me because you kind of dropped it in my lap as something that you were doing this year. And then you said that I was inspiring about this topic. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about, my low buy, slow buy, no buy year. My theme for the year is consume less, create more. And part of that is buying less stuff, just in general, and being really a conscious consumer. And then I said to you, I was like, yeah, you're inspirational to me in this way. So we could talk about that for a second of like why that is.
Yeah, let's. Because I was like confused by that statement, but okay.
Well, I think that you aren't materialistic. I don't think you spend a ton of time shopping or buying things, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, I would agree with that. I'm not super materialistic. I do shop occasionally. But I don't spend a lot of my time or brain power thinking about things I want to acquire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking on a daily basis, oh, if I really want that new sweater, or I really need a new couch, or I just don't think that those things take up a lot of my brain space on a daily basis. And it's not that I don't like shiny new things. We all do. I just try to focus on things that align with my values a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're an inspiration because I do spend a lot of time thinking about that new sweater and getting a new couch and thinking about things that I want to acquire. And that's actually kind of embarrassing to admit, truthfully. I feel a little uncomfortable because it's not aligned with my values to be that way. I think I have a lot of brain space as a person. Like I can hold a lot of different thoughts and I do deeply think about lots and lots of stuff.
Right.
So it's not just like
that brain is constantly going.
Yeah, it's a busy brain for sure. And if I think about it, it's like I look for problems and then I look for solutions. And one that's maybe something I'm trying to get free from is like not seeing everything as a problem, But then when I look around my house, I can find a lot of problems of like, and then I want to find solutions. It's almost like it's fun to me to find the solution.
Yes. So I was going to say that I think a lot of the brain power that we do spend on materialism, it's almost an escape to do that, right? It's a fairly benign concept. Oh, if I'm cold today, so I could really use that cute green sweater that I saw yesterday,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
It's it's a fairly easy escape type thinking, right? Especially if your brain works in a way where you're seeing problems and trying to find solutions, those material problems and material solutions are relatively easy.
Yeah, it's easy fix, easy solve, easy
Much
like
easier than emotional
checkbox.
issues or relationship issues or things like that, right? So it's easy for us
Right.
to kind of default and say, oh, I'll just zone out and think about how I could fix the storage in my living room or how I could
Hmm.
fix what I need to wear to that wedding, whatever.
Yeah.
It,
Yes. And then you bippity boppity and you buy something new and then you're like, "Oh good, I solved the world's problems." But like it's just your it's not even really a real solve. Yeah,
right. Right.
because it's not a real problem that actually needs a solution and it won't actually feel better because you're not solving the deeper whatever it is that is actually bothering you. The pain in the relationship or the
Right.
whatever. Hmm.
I mean, I think that I guess we're going to quickly get into a much deeper direction here, but I think that we've been trained as like the ultimate capitalist society, right? Americans have been trained
Hmm.
for several generations now to divert our attention to materialist items, right? That,
Yeah.
oh, if we have a new television, we'll be happy. If we have that new car, we'll be happy. If we have those new shoes, we'll be happy. We'll definitely go to the gym if we get the new shoes, right?
Yeah.
But the truth is,
Hmm.
none of that happens. We don't get happier if we get the new television. We don't go to the gym for longer than we did before because we got the new shoes. I mean, it's just I think we've been trained to believe that material items are the fix to our emotional.
I think of it discomfort, right? That it's like,
Right.
I'll be happy is a good way to like generically think about it, but it's like it will solve some problem that I have. Like there's an obstacle in my way to getting the thing I want, and if I just like the emotional thing I want. And if I just get the
Right.
material thing, then I'll get that emotional thing. And I think for me, I'm recognizing that it's not as effective as I think it's going to be. And yeah, the capitalist consumeristic training is a bit of brainwashing that I would like to not be so conditioned to, I don't know, have so many things that I want or that I think I should want or that I'm chasing. And just what would it look like if I made a rule that I wasn't going to buy anything new and get curious about what happens to me. That's really where I was coming from. Like, I wanted to not be a cog in a consumeristic, factory or wheel or whatever. I just wanted to opt out a little bit of the whole thing, but more on a personal level of just like finding out why I buy what I buy and how do I feel when I buy it and yeah, what am I wanting from it and can I get it in a different way? I was looking through my journals of like when I first came up with this idea, and it
Which
was
was when?
the end of November of 24. So
Okay.
like right around Thanksgiving, I guess. And
Oh, leading up to the holidays when we buy all kinds of crap.
Yeah, that's when I sort of started. It was in December. It was so weird. And it started out because I was writing about, I said, lately I've been feeling very content, peaceful in my body, my daily flow, work goals, travel plans, my home, financially, in friendships, in my marriage, with the kids. And then I sort of talked about how it was real scary, the contentment feeling,
Ah.
which could be a whole nother conversation.
Well, I was
Um,
going to ask you, like, how often have you written that statement in all the, because you journal a lot. So in all of your years and years of journaling, how often have you said, I'm feeling content?
Not much. And honestly, and then when I did my reflection for 24, I approached it, I talked about it on the pod, but I approached it from what if there's nothing wrong? What if there's nothing that's broken or needs to be fixed? What if there are no problems? What would 25 look like? What would you do or not do? Or do you need to do anything? Like, is this whole resolution thing even important? But I was already kind of there, and then I just kept prompting myself of like, and then so I was writing about contentment, writing about feeling nervous about being content, like it made me
Mm,
nervous. Like I actually
hmm
wasn't like, my life is amazing. I feel so good. Instead, I was like, I guess this is the waiting for the other shoe to drop feeling.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
People will say they can't relax when things are going good because they worry that something bad is lurking just around the corner. And then I wrote, I don't want to think I'm like that. I'm enjoying the present. I'm leaning in, but there's a little, almost a habit of creating discontentment, fighting something else to work on. So that's like this thing I do.
Well, I mean, the truth is there's always something coming around the corner, right? It,
Yeah.
it's I think inner contentment is you can maintain inner contentment even when external factors throw issues your way, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's there's always
Yep.
going to be something, a problem at work, a sick kid, the state of our world, something is going to
Mm-hmm.
come, right? And what you called, yeah, or alluded to, the other shoe dropping. I mean, that is always going to happen. So then it's finding and maintaining this sense of personal contentment, even with those things happening,
Yeah.
right?
I think because of my trauma background, I create things to fiddle with on purpose to create a vigilance. I like have been working really hard for the last year. My last year theme was internalized security, like doing that, like feeling safe no matter what's going on and not needing to be always on the lookout or almost I like create a problem. Like, okay, now I should do no buy because
Right.
like I'm going to do a no buy year out of like I'm content with everything, but so now I'm going to create a new little project. And I think it
But so no buy is
uh-huh.
not really addressing a problem, right? I think that
Well, that's what I
no
was writing
buy,
about. Uh-huh.
but that's really getting aligned with your values.
Yes, and that's what I was like I think I wanted to share this little bit before we even go into it because I was like the reason why I'm thinking about this is because I've been considering changing my relationship to consumerism and consuming in general. I want to consume less media, less stuff, less waste in terms of time, junk, materials, money. I want to create more beauty, more peace, more impact, more ease, more me, more time. But am I just finding something to disrupt my contentment or am I exploring a new layer of contentment? And that's what I was like
Definitely the latter.
realizing. Yeah, I said when I get quiet, I don't think this is another restriction diet because that's another thing about me is that I love restriction diets. Like rules
Right.
about things that you can't do or consume or
So we have that in common, obviously, right? But I think I will say that when you consume less, it's just a different layer of contentment.
yeah.
You're not creating a problem for yourself where you're saying, oh my gosh, I have to consume less. Oh, I can't buy that because I have this restriction on myself.
It could end up looking like that if I was coming from a different
It,
place.
it could, which is why I want to keep going back to that concept of aligning with your values, right?
Hmm.
It's not a restriction if you know what your values are. You're
Yeah.
not restricting yourself. There are no rules around, oh, I can't buy that purse or I
Oh,
can't
but
buy
there's
that.
rules.
But
I
it
made up
doesn't,
rules.
that's the thing is that you and I both make up rules around our eating. So we're very clear on what that looks like. But
Hmm.
I believe that in consuming less, particularly material goods, if you change the concept in your head from restricting to aligning with your values,
Hmm.
it's not, you're not solving a problem. It's not rules. It's not restriction. It's actually
Yeah.
enriching. And the
Yes.
reason I see that in your journal entry is that you didn't stop at, I'm going to consume less. You followed it with, I'm going to create more. And you
Hmm.
know that I find that fascinating. Like, I'm actually more interested in the fact that you said I'm going to create more than I
Yeah.
am in the fact that you said, by the fact that you said I'm going to consume less. And I
Yeah.
think that it's not a restriction, it's enriching.
Yeah. And that's not kind of where I landed. I've been talking in my mind. I coined this phrase for myself that I'm midlife curious. So
Mm,
I'm not
I love
midlife
it.
crisis. Yeah.
Hmm.
That I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm in a midlife curious. And
Hmm.
so I want to explore all these different ways I relate to different things and not with any agenda or like need to fill a gap. Like I was thinking when you're talking, I wasn't like, oh my God, we have no money. So I've got to restrict my spending
Right.
or I've over consumed. I've got to, reel it back in or something like that. Like it's not coming from any deficit or scarcity or problem. It's like more looking forward
Well,
to what.
so when you originally approached me with this conversation, you did touch on being a cog in the capitalist machine
Yes, I
and
want to opt out of that
also,
part.
climate change and um, maybe seeing it as part of a problem too,
Hmm.
right? And a lot of people do
Yeah, I
approach
think there is that. Hmm.
anti-consumerism in that, right? Like a lot of people do approach it as, I don't want to be part of this climate change. I don't want to be part of this capitalist machine. I don't want to be part of these things. And I agree with that, but I
Hmm.
think that when you approach it like that, you maybe are coming at it as restricting.
Mm.
That
Yeah, I
that
think there's
creates
a
more
difference for me.
restrictions.
Yeah. Is it personal versus more global? Like I see my contribution to the overconsumption, right, as like a global issue and my decision to be more curious about my relationship to consumerism and to consuming. It's a personal exploration, but it's not cut to solve a personal problem. It's not like I have like an emotional
Right.
need to then like prove I'm a good person or I don't know, feel like I have more money. Like I'm not solving any personal problem or emotional problem. But then the motivations, like the bigger why, I think going back to what you're saying about aligning with my values, the bigger why is a lot around, yeah, not one. I don't know. I'm just grossed out. I'm just grossed out by waste and the excessive advertising and shopping and buying and yeah, I'm
Well,
just
I mean,
yeah.
I think uh, honestly, when you stop to think about it, it is a little gross, right? Like we
Mhm.
as Americans are conditioned to think that if we just buy this, things will get better. And I think that we're
Mm-hmm.
learning as a society that that doesn't equal better, right? And in fact, it may actually make us less happy and less fulfilled and less connected and all of these things, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
certainly mass consumerism is not leading to human progress in the US, right?
Yeah, doesn't seem like it. I think we have some
Uh,
evidence to produce that. Yeah. So when I was like writing, I said my bigger why is that I'm curious. Like, can I become more thoughtful about how I spend my resources, my time, my money, energy, and attention? And so that's where I just got really kind of like, what would it look like to create possibly some rules around buying? Less waste. I wanted less waste on time. I waste a lot of time shopping, returning, researching. Like, I wanted some of my time back. I wanted some of my money, like less waste of money on stuff. I buy things that a lot of times I'm not thinking long term. So one of my themes is buy for life or buy it once,
mm, mhm,
and thinking about like if I'm going to make a purchase, am I going to buy this and have like a New Year's Eve outfit, say. This came up because it was at New Year's Eve
mm.
and I was already doing a shopping ban. And then I started to think about like I didn't like what I had to wear to the New Year's Eve party or whatever. And then I was like, oh, I should maybe get something new. And I have this old habit of just like going to TJ Maxx and getting something new for that night that I feel kind of good in. And I was literally in a shopping ban in my head, no clothing, buy no new clothing. And then I'm in a TJ Maxx dressing room trying on sequency things and just
Well,
laughing at.
so
I have some rules. I have it's low buy, slow buy, no buy, and then also have some rules. But there is a no new clothes. That's one of the rules that I've made, and I do have some exceptions
sure.
that I realized. Exceptions were in this year. I know I was going to need a new workout shoes. I knew I was going to need a new bathing suit. I can replace something with a hole. And I wrote flip flops question mark because I think I might need a new pair of flip flops. Oh, so it's till June 30th, apparently. No new clothes, shoes, accessories, jackets, purses, jewelry until June 30th. But I found it so fascinating. So then I actually got quiet with myself because I understand the ban is like not, I don't need to be so strict. And then I thought, okay, if I were to buy one of these things, would I want to wear it for every New Year's Eve for a long time? Like, is this going to be my New Year's Eve outfit? And there's this part of me that really values other cultures and other countries where you just like have your wool sweater that you wear every year and they're like there's so and so's that's their wool sweater, like it almost defines them, it's part of them, it's like the thing they always have. And I am trying on this idea of like having a Christmas sweater or having a New Year's sweater or whatever it is, and then that's just kind of what I wear and it's high quality and I just wear it for years and years. That's what I'm playing with.
I think especially where we are located in the suburbs, running to TJ Maxx is like oh, we'll just hop in there, we'll grab something new. But how often do you wear it after that?
Yes. This is where I'm like really exploring what do I currently own. And I think that the high quality stuff, it's such a mindset. I'm slowing down my thought process and really asking myself, what do I want? Why do I want it? How long am I going to wear it? Is this something I want to wear? Is it actually look great on me or not? I feel like I rush to solve tonight's problem sometimes, or like
Right.
before I go on a trip, or I don't know what it is. So I have these habits of relating to events, to shopping, to buying that are so subconscious that I want to figure out what they are and then slow it down, just evaluate. And when I was really quiet in that dressing room and I like looked at the clothes closely and really thought about, would you want to wear this every year? Like, do you love it? And I was just like, I don't like anything. What in the world? And then I got really even more quiet and I was like, I could just wear something I already own and be fine. And what am I also chasing in that thought that I want something different? Anyway, I just put it all away and came home, wore something I already owned, and that was enough. So, the kind of part of the clothing ban is really to explore for me why I want to buy new clothes. Like, what is underneath it? What am I chasing? What's my reason? And then it's almost like an urge if you're trying to change your diet, say, and you know you kind of always eat chips like or something like that. Like not that chips are bad, but you eat something that you know you doesn't make you feel good later or whatever. And then you get curious about the urge or like, am I actually hungry? Am I not? What do I really want? Am I bored? Like you explore the thing going underneath why you're doing something. Same with alcohol. Like, why do I want to drink right now? Is it because I'm uncomfortable, because I'm bored, I want to celebrate? Is am I chasing a feeling? Can I get it without it? I think that's like the same thing I'm doing with clothes or other, even around other items, not just clothing. It's like, what's the urge? Why do I have this?
So everything that you just talked about is consumption, right? Eating is
Mm-hmm.
consumption, drinking is consumption, purchasing new clothes is consumption. That's all consuming things, right?
Yep.
And then the question is, why am I consuming those things, and what is the feeling I'm chasing by consuming those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So part of my story is that I had some health issues, 7 years ago that required me to change my consumption habits around eating and drinking. I got sober and I've been sober for 7 years, right? And I cleaned up my diet, did all of these things to kind of manage my health. And I've been asked I mean, countless times in the last 7 years, well, would it hurt you to have a drink? Like, would it hurt you to eat this? And
Mm-hmm.
no, it wouldn't hurt me. I wouldn't feel great the next day. It's just not worth it to me because I don't want to
Yeah.
not feel good the next day. I want to keep feeling my best. And I
Mm-hmm.
think the thing around consumption of material items certainly took me longer. I think on my health journey, I did some therapy called ACT, which is action and commitment therapy, um,
Mm-hmm.
which really gets you clear on your values, like really hones in
Mm-hmm.
on your values and what is important to you, even if you cannot function to the best of your ability. How would I live out my values if I couldn't leave my house or I couldn't
Mm.
leave my bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would I live out those values? And that thought process was parallel to changing how I consumed food and alcohol as well, right? The reason I changed how I consumed alcohol and food is because I wanted to stay feeling my best. I did
Mm-hmm.
not want to do something that made me not feel good anymore. Getting clear on my values affected my consumption of material items as well,
Mm-hmm.
because what I really honed in on was that those weren't my values. Not that I don't like nice things, not that I don't occasionally want to go, frivolously shop or purchase new things for an event or redo or ruin my house. Just that those are not the things that I would choose to spend my time on if, unfortunately, I was compromised in a way that restricted my movement or my ability to experience the world.
Well, it
I
helps you
th-
get real clear on what's
it
important.
helps you get real clear on what's important. What was important to me were not those material items. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. And what happened in that process is I replaced those things with things that were important to me, which is
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
liked
That's
your
like
follow
consume
up.
less, create more. Yeah. Like
Right.
what will be created if I'm not spending time thinking about redoing a room?
Hmm.
What will expand when there's space there? Yeah. Hmm.
And the things that replaced that for me, the things that replaced shopping and decorating and all of those
Hmm.
things made me feel more authentic.
Mm.
They were fulfilling in a way that buying new shirts or shoes or changing the pillows on my bed were not. My thought process changed from if I just had those shoes, I would feel better about my life to what experiences am I adding into my life to make it feel more fulfilled and complete?
My question is different. My question is, can I feel fulfilled with the shoes I have right now? It's not even like maybe, I mean, it's both. Of course, I want to feel like what else can I bring into my life and things like that if I'm not focused on the shoes. But I'm like trying to explore also how can this what I currently have be good and enough and like what did I already buy in the past that I loved back
Well, how
then
can it
and
be?
how can it be good enough or fulfilling
Yeah.
the shoes I currently have? Yeah. It can be. That's what I'm realizing slowly. Yeah.
The way that it can be is by changing your thought process.
For sure. Yeah, just by like and part of that for me is coming from a little bit of a ban because I have to create a obstacle to get me to get to the other side of like,
I think that you think that it has to be a boundary or a ban. I think that the questions you ask have to be different. I think that the questions you're asking yourself have to be what am I looking for out of this event? What am I looking for out of this experience? How am I
yeah.
going into that experience to relate to my friends, to my family, to the people that I'm meeting at this presentation? The
Well, that's why I
same
think
is
this
true.
is going quiet and going like, what's my why for any of it? What's my reason that I'm doing my hair or whatever? Like, because I know where my gaps are, the things that I go get in order to relieve some level of discomfort.
Right.
And it's like, okay, if I don't have my thing I do that relieves my level of discomfort, that's not available. Now I have to cope with the discomfort in a new way or explore it or get really curious and give myself a lot of compassion around that discomfort. So whether you're getting your hair and spending a lot of time and money on your face and your body and all the things, it's just like what's your reason? What's your why? For me, I've done lots of different things like around alcohol, like just to find out my why. So I say, I'm not going to do this for a while because I will then be pushed up against figuring out why I want it.
Right,
And
right.
I think that conversation is so personal and so intimate within each person. It's not about us figuring out what the rules are for other people. It's just why are we doing what we're doing?
Right.
And
Correct.
I think you were saying, well, because I want to feel good. That then is another layer of like, well, but why aren't you feeling great now? That's what I keep doing is like, can I be okay without that thing? Like, what do I need to do here now to be good without adding something new or getting something new or doing something different? And what I've noticed about myself is, especially this past year, I took these two big trips and I found myself really almost like capsule wardrobing myself. And, but I was like almost insane how the level of thought I was putting into what I was going to pack. When it was all said and done, I was like, what was that? Like, I was so blindly moving in it. I didn't stop to reflect. At one point, I did because I was like, what is going on? Um, So that's
What'd you come up
a,
with? Because trips are an interesting thing for me. I'm like that with packing for trips. Like I want to have the perfect outfits for trips, and I won't
mhm,
go on a trip if my hair isn't done and my nails aren't done and all of these things, right? Which
yeah.
there are times in my day-to-day life when certainly my roots are showing and I haven't had my nails done in a while, but I won't let myself do that before a trip. And I have
Hmm.
often wondered and asked myself the question about that. Why is that? And I don't have an answer. So I'm curious what
Mm.
you came up with.
Yeah, a couple different answers for me. One was fitting in. I don't want to not fit in. So I want to
Mhm.
belong wherever I am. So I want to like fit the scene or the part or whatever. Um, so that is something for that I can explore. So I was going to Paris, I was all like really wanting to look Parisian or something. Like I
Hmm.
wanted to fit in. I didn't want to like be thought of as a tourist. Like I was almost trying to control the Parisian narrative of me or something.
Mm. Hmm.
And then I remembered that I'm not Parisian. And that
And
and that no
frankly,
matter.
it doesn't matter what you were wearing, you would still in Paris be the tourist. So,
Yeah, because actually I am a tourist. So why am I fighting what is true? Like I don't live there. I am a visitor. It is okay for me to go and be myself in a situation that I'm going to look like me. Then hilariously, once I spent all this time doing all these outfits and stuff like that. And I realized that all the things were just clothes I already wear all the time. Like I couldn't even become someone else, even when I tried to fit in. I still, I still
well,
just
so
was myself.
I have wondered, do we think that like it's a way of controlling our anxiety around a trip,
Oh yeah,
right? Like it's something that we feel we can
yeah, and
control.
like there's so much uncertain. There's so much
Right.
uncertainty about traveling.
Right.
But
And that's
you,
like,
and then I also really want to be comfortable. So that was my other
yes, it's
issue. I
something
really
I
don't like
don't
to be
want to
uncomfortable.
think about while I'm there. Like I don't want to have to think
Yeah.
about how I look. I want to be able to just
Yes.
slip on the outfit I brought, make sure all the pieces are in place, and experience the trip. Right. And I feel
Yeah.
like
And not
if
overthink
I,
about it. Mhm.
right.
But I also find I physically want to be comfortable. So I'm always trying to like anticipate the weather and like,
Interesting.
yeah, really
Totally
kind of
not
think about.
something you can control at all.
But like, I don't know. Like, when then we went to Alaska and I was like, I just became obsessed. Like, we need waterproof shoes. I read that we need waterproof shoes. And it was such a huge pain in the ass. Bought so many shoes, returned so many shoes. I don't know why. I don't need waterproof shoe. It wasn't really that big of an issue. What was I going to be doing that was going to require all this walking in water? I was on a cruise. I was mostly on a boat the whole time. So I, I'm not sure where. I think, yeah. So I said to Kevin, like when I was doing this, when I started to do this no buy, slow buy, low buy, he was like, well, yeah, you don't really buy that much stuff, and because I'm not really not that like consumery. And
Yeah,
then
so the
I was
interesting
like,
thing, I was surprised when you brought this up because you're not like over the top.
no, not at all. But I do find that I have that little like, there's a problem. Let me solve it. We don't have a carpet in this room. We should have a carpet. You know what I need is a table runner. And I just like spend all this time creating little problems and then spending time thinking about them and then solving them and buying stuff. And sometimes it's like shit stuff, like crap. Like it's not quality, it's junk. It just like
Right.
tickety, like I want to check off a box or whatever. I was saying to Kevin about the band, and then he was like, I don't really see you buying that much stuff. And then I was like, yeah, but I kind of like, I don't know. Like I was like buying a lot before Paris. I was buying a lot before Alaska. And I was like in my head about it. And he goes, yeah, I did think that was a little weird. And
Interesting.
I was like, ah, yeah, I just felt off. I don't know that part, but that wasn't really what led to this. I mean, maybe some on some level. Yeah, I just was really curious. So I'll tell you a couple of my rules, even though you don't like my
Okay.
rules. So I talked about the clothes. Also, no home goods or decor. Um, no plants, pillows, blankets, art, knickknacks, furniture, kitchen stuff, linens. And then I have a couple of exceptions to all of these have exceptions. No books, puzzles, crafts, or games. And I have a couple of exceptions. And then there's some rules is no Amazon.
Mm.
So, yeah, now you don't buy anything from Amazon unless I absolutely can't find it elsewhere. And
Which
then,
is becoming more and more of an issue.
yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but because it's a slow buy, nothing is ever needed immediately. I can take my time. So the idea is to buy things in person and look at them and hold them in my hand and touch them as much as I can. So really no online shopping in general, because I want to have a relationship to the thing and hold it and touch it and decide if it's great. And the thought that, oh, it's so time consuming to go in person to buy things, I'm realizing I spend so much time returning and,
Right.
buying things that I half like that I could keep anyway, but I still have to replace the item eventually,
Right. Right.
or being slightly dissatisfied by my thing that I buy. So avoiding Target is another one. So like big box stores, trying to buy used, researching the quality of items, try to buy directly from the manufacturer or the brand. So those are some of my guidelines. Yeah. Essentials only, replacements okay. Oh, gifts are okay. So I have to define essentials. Like, what does that even mean? That's been interesting. And then I did this exercise at the end of the year, like a feelings chase, like what feelings am I chasing for this year?
Right.
And there was a bunch of different ones, like free, full, fun, satisfied, joyful, peace, and content. And then the prompt was, I know I'm feeling blank when,
Mm.
like, so it's like, I wrote, I know I'm feeling free when I'm not overthinking, over planning, over learning, over researching. Take out the word over and just being like thinking, planning, learning, researching. Like when I'm not in my head trying to solve problems all the time. So
Right.
I still will do that. But I've noticed it's only been what, 30 days or whatever, 27, 28 days, is that I'll start to think like, oh, we should get a new couch.
Mm.
And then I'll start to like look up couches or like I'll like a friend will mention something. They'll be like, oh, do you know this brand? And then I'm like, oh, let me look it up. Or I'll start to look up stuff. But now I'm like, oh, well, I'm not buying one, so I'm not going to look it up. And then I'm like free to do whatever I want instead. Like I make up
Yeah.
something.
So,
Hmm.
okay, I was going to ask you two things. Can you repeat the list of feelings for the year?
Yeah. Free,
Hmm.
full,
Hmm.
fun,
Hmm.
satisfied, joyful,
Hmm.
peace, content
Okay. So, is consuming things going to get you any of those feelings?
for a short time.
Really short.
Yeah. Like that, like it's like a zeke, like a zip, it's a
Right.
very short
It's not
term
lasting.
buzz. Nope. Hmm.
So then when you start thinking about what are you going to do instead, right? What are you
Hmm.
going to do instead of researching a couch? What are you going to do instead of buying a couch? What are you going to do instead? What are you replacing that with to get those feelings? And honestly,
Yep.
that's I think the crux of all of this conversation is what are
Hmm.
you doing instead to reach those feelings for your year?
Yeah. If I'm not buying, I'm resisting that urge. I'm going to find the thing in another way. But I did, part of this journey was to write down like things that bring me joy. And you just brainstorm a list of things that bring you joy. And those are the things that I will do instead.
Right.
right? And then I have a lot of different other goals. You're right. Like you have to think about, well, what am I wanting to get or achieve or chase or whatever it is, instead of with this new time and money and energy and brain power and attention and whatever it is. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what will open up.
So
But already,
curious.
yeah, already it is a little bit like, when I am thinking about, oh, I should get that thing. And then I'm like, do I really need it? Like, what? It's not essential. Like, let me just put that on a list of things that I might get later. And then I end up not running an errand. I don't have Amazon returns to do. I don't have like a
Right.
Target run or anything. The groceries, it's just, I have way more time. Like, I already have a lot of time because my kids are grown and it's weird. But
Right.
I was filling that time, I think, with other stuff that like was easy,
Hmm.
buying stuff or looking up new things or thinking about things that we need.
I think we need so little.
So
Like, I
little. That's
think that
fascinating.
part of this experience for you will be figuring out that really, like, as humans, we need very little.
Mm-hmm.
And as Americans and, part of our capitalist system, we've been trained to think we need a lot and we don't. And one of my like daydreams for the future has become like, I literally want to live in like a concrete and glass house that has nothing in it, like nothing that can be seen anywhere. And I mean, when I dig down into what's driving that, right? Like, I want no clutter in my brain either, right? It's
Yeah.
symbolic. It's a clutter-free environment symbolizing my clutter-free brain, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So cool.
but like we really don't need that much to
No, I
function.
already have everything I need. And that's like this practice of like, what if I already have what I need? What if I already have what I want? And when I actually do this work, like in the last 28 days, like, what do I already have? And then I look for it and I find, oh, I already have this. Or I don't know, do I really need, I've been okay without it. I don't know. I just kind of play with like, what if I already have solved this issue? Or no, I don't know, I already have the thing. Yeah, it's been good. And there's
Yeah.
been stuff that I've wanted to buy or think about and that I haven't done.
I mean, it's
And
hard habit to break, right?
mhm,
All habits are hard to break.
yeah, yeah.
Consuming is a hard habit to break too.
Uh-huh. I'm excited to be part of like for myself, just not, I don't know, not contributing to trash, extra shit in the world. I don't, spending money on stuff that I'm chasing feelings and getting things that I think I need and I don't, and just having stuff around. I don't know, more sustainable in many, many ways, personally and financially and for the
It's
world. Like
freeing.
just all these. Yeah.
It's freeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also that's part of the challenge and the fear around it, right? People are afraid. What do you do with all that freedom?
Yeah.
It forces us to take a look at how we spend our time and what we're thinking about and focused on and what will really make us feel free and content and joyful and all those things that you mentioned. And that's hard work. That's hard
Yeah.
work. It's a
So
lot easier to just go try on stuff at TJ Maxx.
it really is. And then, getting that good feeling of like, oh, yeah. Okay, good. I got it. I got a new sweater. I don't know. Okay, well, thanks for chatting with me about this.
Thank you. That was so fun. And we can
Yeah,
continue
yeah.
it later or
Yeah,
ongoing
we'll
as
have
you
to
go
do
through
like
the process.
an update on the slow buy, low buy, no buy.
Well, good luck with the rest of it. Can't wait to hear more about it.
Hey mama, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, I want to encourage you to do two things. The first is go to my website, calmmamacoaching.com, and get a copy of the Stop Yelling cheat sheet. You'll get a step-by-step breakdown of the most important tool I teach, which is the pause break. And you'll also get 40 ideas to reset your body and balance your nervous system so you don't have to yell at your kids. You can get a copy of that, again, at my website, calmmamacoaching.com/stop yelling. The other thing I'd love for you to do is go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review this podcast so that other moms can discover empowering and helpful, practical parenting strategies just like you did today. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. It means a lot to be in your ear every week and to support you on your parenting journey.